Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of What a Hell of a Way to Dad. It is Francis, and with me today I have a surprise for all of you. It is What a Hell of a Way to Mom as well, as my wife Beth is here. Beth, how are you tonight?
I am great. I've got a cat in my lap and I am all set.
You got an orange cat, you got an orange yip you're working on, and I gave you the orange microphone, so you're very pumpkined up over there. So a little behind the scenes for you listeners. This is actually the second time that we're recording this episode because I decided that the best thing to do to bring my wife on was to make it so that we fuck up an episode immediately. So and look, I always tell people who are, kind of new to podcasting or new to a new podcasting project to just, record an episode and feel free to delete it. Right. So
Absolutely.
Yeah. This is not, obviously I'm not new to podcasting, but this is a new dynamic. And neither one of us was really happy with that first episode. We were a bit mean. We
were too mean. So I'm really glad that we are getting a second opportunity to do this again and that we watched it again in a much more spirit of fun.
I think
and just
so.
Being more festive and just seeing this from a silly point of view rather than let's make fun of this point of view.
Right. So if you haven't seen me post and you haven't heard us talk about it on previous episodes, Beth and I are going to be watching 4 military-themed Christmas Hallmark-ish movies. And I say Hallmark-ish because one of them is not a Hallmark movie. It's technically a Netflix movie, but I feel like it fits it's the same idea. So this is the first one that we watched, and this is Christmas on Duty. And this is a movie that just came out this month. November 1st, 2025, this movie came out. And it stars Parker Young, who some of you may remember from the TV show Enlisted. He was the youngest of the Hill brothers, so the youngest and the goofiest. And Janel Parrish, who many of you you might know from Pretty Little Liars she was in, right? Was her big thing. So, yes. And she's done a few other, kind of bigger things. Parker Young has done 1 or 2 things that are like, they're not huge, but they're not nothing.
He has played a lot of people in the military.
He has.
Because apparently he has a lot of military family and friends.
Right. And he wants to honor them by pretending to be in the military on TV.
I don't know if it's about honoring them, but it's that he's actually really good at playing somebody in the military because it's not foreign to him.
Yeah. And you're right. You can tell when you have somebody who has never worn a uniform or been around people in uniform. They have no idea how to, look or present themselves. So Parker Young is good at that. And he's always been good at looking. He's what everybody wants a soldier to look like, handsome, tall, square jawed, kind of goofy. This is the ideal soldier. This is also the ideal Hallmark leading man. All of them look this way. They're all kind of cut from the same
jaw. From the same jaw.
Yeah, there's one. Who do you think the original Hallmark leading man jaw is that everybody else they just keep like it would be in a reliquary in the Hallmark crypt.
See, and we're new to this universe. We are new to the universe of Hallmark movies or holiday rom-coms or like the Hallmark, Lifetime, whatever. I don't even know what this genre is called in general. I know about Hallmark movies, but we never have really watched them before.
No, they're not our cup of tea. They're all very samey.
Well, yes, but I understand that that's why people like them. Mm-hmm. They're like, I am a reader of cozy mysteries. I never have gotten into the cozy movie, but since we really like Operation Christmas Drop as a family tradition every year, like now we're kind of dipping our toe into more of them. And you know what? Watching it twice, it wasn't terrible.
It's not. And the thing is you have to go into this understanding that this is a movie that is getting slapped together on a shoestring budget, and they're going to make it look like they know what they're doing. This isn't an art house film where you're just like, come on, guys, I can see the boom mic. Like, these are professionals who know what they're doing, but I think you said it best that this is kind of that last of the old Hollywood, right?
It reminds me of like 1940s Hollywood where actors were on a contract with a studio and then they just had to do whatever movie the studio put in front of them. And so not all of them were great. Sometimes it was a real chore to make the movie. But something that I noticed from reading about this movie is that everybody had a blast filming it. So like when I was reading about the filming locations, everybody enjoyed making this movie. And that's where I felt like, okay, we can't be mean about this because these people are just having a good time.
Oh, right. And
yuck, they're yum.
Exactly. And, it's not a perfect movie, but I think that's something that people miss by just completely disregarding something like this and we'll get to them, but like the characters in here, like Doug and Donna.
Yes.
Like the main, and when I read criticism of this movie, because a lot of people didn't like them, Hallmark movies never really score high on the tomato meter in general.
Well, and I think too, we need to talk about who made this movie, not just Hallmark.
Yes. This also was made in conjunction with USAA, which is very obvious with the huge USAA commercial in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it's
immediate.
Yeah. It's pretty fast. And this is also a time like USAA apparently has cut a shitload of jobs. But if you read up on it, USAA said like, look, we've done surveys and the people who we are most likely to recruit to come to USAA watch Hallmark movies, like 85%.
Yeah. That was a wild statistic.
That's such a crazy, and like you would think, why would anybody have that statistic ready to go? But one, we can see it, in play here. And two, have you ever seen baseball statistics? Like none of those make sense. And somebody's always got them at the fingertips. So USAA helped fund this movie. But none of the criticism is really pointed at any of the actors. Nobody's like, Parker Young and Janel Parrish are bad because we know they're not. These are not new people who are new to being in front of a camera. A lot of the criticism is just like the writing and the fact that it's, they keep talking about how much snow there is, but there's like absolutely no snow anywhere on the ground.
The heated streets and driveways.
Yeah, it's Virginia. Somebody also pointed out, like Virginia Beach is 2 hours away. We've never been shut down because of snow around this area. So I think, like I said, going into this movie and going into all the other movies, you're going to know that it's going to follow a formula, and that's fine. And you got to hunt for the little fun bits of it, because I guarantee you there's going to be funny bits of like what about Christmas Drop? I mean, I really like some of the side characters in that one. I liked the senator that they had, the senator who's just like a huge bitch, and then immediately just like, did you see all those children? Oh, it was a Christmas miracle. She's Scrooged, and she comes out on the
that is true. That is definitely a Scrooge type of transformation, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get to that. That was also a big name actress playing the senator.
Oh, it was. I can't
we'll
remember.
get to that.
Yeah,
we'll get to that in a couple weeks.
Yes. So Christmas on Duty. Christmas on Duty. So as I said, we have Parker Young as Captain Cannon. Josh Cannon. That's a hell of a name for a Marine. I think one of my favorite, John Matrix. John Matrix was an Arnold Schwarzenegger character. But like, if you're going to be in a military movie and be the troop, you've got to have a cool name. And like part of it being a gun is always a good pick. Like, Remington Cannon would have been a fucking phenomenal name. And then Janel Parrish is Captain Birch. The two know each other. Their fathers served, they come from Marine families. Both of their fathers, I guess, one was a sergeant major and the other one was trying to become a sergeant major, which we find out as a plot point later. But what's important is both of the fathers are ex-Marine, retired Marine, and these two are both officers. And we meet them at I gave you the thing. The train TBS, the basic school, and I had to look this one up because I'm not a Marine. But TBS is where when you are going to go become a young Marine officer, you go to the basic school. So they're at the basic school. They're doing they're in an obstacle course, and they're kind of chirping at each other, flirting a little bit. We get to meet Zoe, the best friend, who kind of comes and goes in this movie. She's
the sassy black friend. And that I'm saying that is a trope.
Yeah, it is very much a trope. But, you got to flesh this movie out.
Well, as we said, there is a formula. Now, one thing that I was just thinking about is that, this is like the cozy movies versus cozy books. There's no pets in this.
This is military. It's hard to have a pet.
True. But that's usually that has to be in a cozy mystery. There has to be a pet.
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be a Labrador.
Yeah, or something. You would think, since he moved back to be near his family, you would think that in that gigantic Hallmark house with the gigantic double wide whirlpool fridge, that there would be a dog.
I mean, I guess Josh's sister and kid are living there because that's just like you're one guy and you have a refrigerator that big.
I think that's his parents' house.
No, I know. We never see it. Do we see Josh's mom?
Yes. She's the blonde lady with no lines.
That's right.
Who's in the background, like doing crafts with the grandson, but never says a word. Because this is a movie about daddy issues.
It really is. Just so many daddy issues in here. Neither of the dads are doing okay either, as it turns out.
Yeah. So they knew each other because their dads were Marines and also had a big grudge against each other.
Right. So they're bucking for their MOS schools, and Cannon wanted to go infantry, but I guess he got passed up for it, and Birch ended up getting the spot.
Well, she won something. She was top of the class.
She got to pick whatever MOS she wanted, so she picked infantry because she thought it would be the most challenging. She was saying that she was going to go artillery, but when she got her choice of whatever she wanted, she picked infantry.
The only infantry spot available that year.
Only infantry spot available. Now, I will say, I looked it up. Only 15% of the Marines is infantry.
She did say it's nearly impossible for women to do, and so when she was top of the class, she wanted that spot.
Yeah. And she was absolutely, going reaching for the gold rings there, which you go, girl. You can kill people with the best of them.
But she caught Josh off guard, and so he was a bit miffed, and then they got in a fight.
So they got in a fight, and they storm off away from each other, and then we skip ahead 6 years. We skip ahead to Captain Birch giving ending a PowerPoint presentation. Actually, it wasn't PowerPoint. They did not have PowerPoint. They had tried erase boards. That's how you know that they didn't really do their research. They didn't have an overly complicated PowerPoint presentation. But I will say the topic was, leadership development in for specifically comms degraded environments. And that is absolutely something that I would expect to sit through an hour-long PowerPoint about at some point. So they did get a good topic. They just couldn't afford PowerPoint.
So this is a niggling little thing that doesn't really matter, but it's something that jumped out at me, and I was curious what you thought about it, which is that when she finishes her little talk, the entire room bursts into applause. Yeah. And she's like, thank you, immediately. And I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, no.
And then her dad is there to congratulate her on her.
Right, on doing a PowerPoint presentation. And look, maybe this is like her grand thesis or something, but you're going to do you're a captain at a training unit in the Marines. You're going to do a lot of goddamn PowerPoints. All right, so we jump ahead. So she wants to become a company commander. She wants to be somebody who is training the newest group of Marine officers. So she wants to be
mentor,
right? But she wants to be back at the basic school. They're at Quantico in the beginning. They go their separate ways. 6 years later, they're back at Quantico, and she wants to become one of the company commanders. So, next step in her movement upwards, I guess. And at this point, I guess the youngest she would be 28 years old, because you have to have probably 30 or so. I think that's a good age for company commander.
Seems about right. I mean, they do go on to say that they both dated various people, and they're 30-ish.
Yeah, they're probably they've been around. So they're going to a Christmas line. So this is where we get to meet Captain Birch's
Sergeant Major. Everyone still calls him Sergeant Major.
It's such a Sergeant Major too. If I was expecting him to yell at somebody about a reflective belt at one point, it's just he's quite the Sergeant Major.
He does immediately give somebody crap for their haircut or shaving.
Yeah, I think the shaving.
Yeah.
And then it's just no, I'm just fucking with you.
I'm retired.
I can't do anything to you. Yeah, absolutely what a Sergeant Major would do, especially after retired. Just I'm bored. So now I have to go fuck. I'm bored, and the only thing I know is to go be mean to people. That's a Sergeant Major.
So they're going to the tree lighting ceremony after her presentation. And that's when you find out that the Sergeant Major is trying to make a traditional Christmas this year.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of the daddy issues.
Yeah. Their mother, the mother passed probably
Early in the year. Past Christmas, but almost a year ago.
Yeah. So she passed, and this was their first, the first Christmas without her. And they used to do, she called it type 2 activities, things that are challenging. And so she was like, oh, me and dad are going to go on a 15-mile rock march on Christmas, which, is absolutely insane. But she, now dad is just like, no, I want to have a traditional Christmas. I want to bake cookies. I want to do carols and all of these things, because he too is spiraling. Like, here's what this movie needs: a mental health professional. like just a brace of them, just 2, one for the Cannons, one for the Birches, to help everybody kind of move through their stuff. But it's a Hallmark movie, so actually we're going to do that by ourselves.
Yeah, they get through it. They process all their feelings.
Right. In 2 to 3 minutes. A nice little original soundtrack to it as well. So this is where we get our USAA commercial as well. And again, it's so jarring because Sergeant Major, who has kind of shown himself to be a hard ass, right? He's got the face of stone. But now the USAA tent is outside, and they're giving away ice scrapers.
And he's real excited about it, as only a dad could be. But you know what? They should have been giving away flashlights.
Always should have been giving away flashlights. Well, look, it was snowing though. I mean, the whole...
True. Still though, flashlights are the most practical gift.
An ice scraper with a flashlight and handle of it.
Next year, the Black Friday giveaway for next year.
$1 million idea. Does Pens.com have that one in stock? We'll see. So they go to, we have the USAA. We also get the Sergeant Major, like, Captain Burst's like, oh, Dad, I know how you love USAA. He's like, there's 3 things in this world I'm passionate about. Like my family, the Marines, and the savings I get at USAA.
The great deals.
The great deals at USAA.
And to be fair, we know this to be true, don't we? I have never rented a car without checking USAA's deals first.
Yeah, they always have some. They're always one of the ones. You go to Costco to go to USAA.
I mean, I don't want to make this a commercial, but like, if you are a veteran and you have a USAA account, always go with their car rental first, because it's always the cheapest.
Not so much their insurance. Get an insurance guy, but if you want to be lazy, USAA is good at that too, I guess. And they didn't even have, like, they had to get an actor to play a USAA guy.
He had to be very handsome and have that ramrod posture.
You can't have like one of us, like 6s talking to these 10s, Although USAA guy in the puffer jacket was, he looked normal.
Oh, no, they all had the puffer jacket. The guy at the beginning, and then later when USAA shows up just in the nick of time again.
Yeah, that guy, he looked normal. He didn't look carved from stone. He also didn't have any lines, so I think that's why they did that. So they're going to the final Christmas party, the office Christmas party. This is great because it's at an American Legion. And you did a little bit of research.
Yes, because I love behind the scenes stuff of movies. And I was reading about the filming locations for this movie. And most of it was shot in Utah in April. And so this is an American Legion, a real American Legion post in Utah. I can't remember which town it was. I'm trying to remember the town. It is post 112, but I don't remember which small town it was. But the residents were absolutely delighted to have a Hallmark movie, as you would be if you lived in a small town with an American Legion post.
I was just thinking, like, what if that was me? I could have been there getting drunk in an American Legion in April and then be like, we need to film a movie here. Parker Young's going to be here. And me just shitting myself.
Just imagine though, in our relationship, we have showed up for anything like that. We absolutely would have been there. If a Hallmark movie was filming at an American Legion, we would be there. I would get on.
I have so many old uniforms. Like you need BDUs, you need DCUs, you need that gross grandma couch pattern uniform that we have. I got it all.
So they are filming this at a real American Legion. And it's a big one that's got, the bar on one side and the event space on the other side. And they put up a curtain in between the bar and the filming area. And they kept the bar open during filming, as you do.
Man's got a drink.
Yeah. So, well, and of course, everybody wants to, nose around and see what's going on. And so, during the Christmas party scene, you can definitely tell that this is a functioning American Legion in the background. If you know going into it that how this space is being used, you will recognize that there's a curtain that's obviously separating the room from another room. And then there's the dance floor.
Right. And I'm going to say, I believe that this isn't totally out of the norm for hey, we're going to have a end of year Christmas party for our unit. And American Legion is definitely.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Not if you're Quantico. I feel like you probably have access to nicer things.
I mean, it's not, I don't know. I don't have any idea. I remember one of the last Christmas parties that we did when you were in the reserves. Where was that at?
That was at.
It had a big stage and a big.
Yeah, we had an event building in that whole
complex.
105 Lima.
Yeah. But that party just looked so familiar.
We've danced on that floor before.
I was just thinking of the Christmas picture that we have of us by the Christmas tree where they put you in an office chair with metal arms on it. So it looks like you're in a wheelchair and I'm sitting on your lap.
That's my job one time, Booker. You never did that again.
I know.
Never. You just this is a dumb set. They made PAO work during the Christmas.
Yeah, that was the worst. As a spouse showing up to a Christmas party where you don't really know anybody because it's the reserve. So you're really not that invested in the family group. And then you show up and your spouse has to be working during the party. It was real lame.
We have military spouses.
The hardest job in the Army. You have no idea. Okay, so the Christmas party.
So Captain Cannon's there. Oh, it turns out he's one of the company commanders.
He's just been transferred. And what's her face? Birch. She is just finding out that Cannon has been transferred back. He has just showed up at this Christmas party. This is the first she's finding out about it. And he gives her that lusty wink.
Oh, my God. That whole face wink.
Yeah.
When the whole face centers around it like a black hole.
It was great. That was a great wink.
It was kind of hot. No doubt.
You know where this movie's going. So he taunts her with that wink. And then they get into it because when they split 6 years ago, their parting words were that they should never be in the same place ever again. So they've agreed to keep their careers separate from each other. Never be on the same base as me ever again.
Never again. And here she is on the same base as him. Mm-hmm. What are the odds? I mean, the Marines.
I don't know. I don't know what the odds are.
There was only 6 Marine bases. So they go. I have it written down as hell of a cannon wink. Hell of a cannon shot. So they kind of get arguing. They ran the obstacle course when they were recruits, and she won. So, she's like, well, I beat you then, I'll beat you again. And
he says he let her win.
Yeah, and then we'll go out and we'll do the thing again. So as they're storming out to go run the obstacle course, they run directly. You see the fucking cake, and you're just like, oh, there's the foreshadowing. There's the foreshadowing.
That cake is going flying.
That is a sacrificial cake right there. So as they run the cake, but it was also a very small cake, not a whole lot of cake.
It was an office party cake.
Yeah, and then usually that's just a sheet cake.
That wouldn't fly though.
Exactly.
I knew exactly what you were going to say, but a sheet cake wouldn't fly like that.
I'm just saying, in reality, you have
right.
Hallmark. You need to cake it up.
There needs to be tears so that when somebody runs into it, it goes flying.
You can break off and hit in different,
and then be artfully arranged on the person that it hits.
Just a big cake square on something. It's not as funny. It's not as funny as the top of a cake with a candle on top of your head. So they run in this cake and it goes flying. It falls all over some full bird kernel.
What's the new guy coming in? One's retiring and the new guy's coming. Yeah.
So the new colonel's coming in, and the cake scene is great because they hit it right, and so the cake goes flying. And then you see the cake from another angle. And this time it's the angle of the cake flying through the air and hitting this kernel.
In chunks.
And then you get the third shot of the Colonel reacting now. Like the cake is no longer in motion, but the cake that is on the Colonel is very much not the cake that was thrown.
It was like piped onto him. It was like piped on frosting.
Like a gigantic...
Decorating the Colonel.
Like, I'm just trying to think of the giant piping tool that you would need for that you have to use your whole body to squeeze to get that dollop look to it. And they put like one on the side of his head and one on the shoulder and like one on the chest. But it was jarring.
Well, they do that in movies where it's like, okay.
I would have figured they just pile some of the cake on him.
But for continuity, though, they probably needed it to look a certain way. If they were doing a lot of takes. Who knows?
I don't know how many cakes that they threw. How many cakes do you think they had in the budget?
We could probably find out on the internet how many cakes were involved in the cake flying scene.
Cake scene. Somebody's got to have done that math. So these guys are in trouble now. Outgoing Colonel is putting them on punishment. They are going to have to work Christmas on duty. They have to pull the 24-hour
Christmas duty.
They have to do their duty for Christmas. And then, the disappointment comes through. We get to meet Josh's nephew.
So meanwhile, we have been hearing from multiple sources that there is a terrible storm. All it is shutting down roads, and it is not looking good.
It's not looking good. Nobody's going to get in or out. Highways are being backed up.
Roads are closed. Civilians not allowed to drive.
Yeah. So we get these reports, and we also find out that Amazon.com is just not going to, they don't say Amazon, but like no deliveries are going to be coming through. They're worried that none of the toys are going to be delivered for Christmas. And I assume this is Christmas Eve that we're on.
Yes.
That they're expecting Christmas deliveries. And the kids aren't going to get their Christmas presents.
I feel like the office party was probably the 23rd, and they get told that they have to do Christmas duty because there is a part where they get to go home and tell their families that they done fucked up.
Yeah. Well, that is Christmas Eve during the day. And
I think they have during the day Christmas Eve to tell their families like what they've done, that everything's going to be messed up.
It's probably a noon to noon.
Yeah, probably so. Okay. So then we have the nephew asking, Uncle Josh, are you really going to miss Christmas?
I put it in all caps.
I see. You got a miff, quiff miff? This 4-year-old child is chewing the scenery.
It's like they pulled 4 of his teeth and all right, go deliver those lines. He is hamming it up with the list, and he really wants a train. There's the Pierre Marquette 115. No, it's the 115. Or the 225.
I think it's 4 numbers, but regardless.
He wants this model train because he and his dad went to go see it at a train museum, I suppose. There is one that was nearby.
We went to the Smithsonian.
Yes. And they saw this train. So it's an old steam engine.
So this is Josh's sister was also a Marine, and she now has a 4-year-old child, and she's pregnant, and her husband's deployed. Yeah. So,
She left the Marines to raise children, which was probably the smart idea for one of them to not be a Marine around children.
Well, and especially with, right, he's deployed. So it's good that one of them decided to, pause their career. So that's the situation. And the sister and her kids seem to be staying with Josh's parents in their really amazing house.
Yeah, it's a fan. I'd be staying, even if I wasn't pregnant, I'd be staying in that house.
Both dads have an amazing Hallmark house.
Well, we don't get too much of Sergeant Major's house.
Oh, yes, we do. We get a lot of the Sergeant Major's house. He's got those beautiful teal built-in bookcases. Oh, that's right. He's got a great fireplace. He has the Victorian-style kitchen with like the $5,000 stove. You don't Zillow the way that I Zillow.
Yeah, we can see, if you ever wonder why all the houses on Zillow look like that.
It's Hallmark movies. I didn't know because, like I said, we're kind of new to this universe.
Right.
But I am not new to Zillow. And so when I'm watching this movie, I'm like, this is where all the things come from, is from Hallmark movies.
Yeah, and all the gray and white works because they're in the Hallmark movies, they're adding a lot of color.
Yeah.
Right? But when you're looking at it on Zillow, it's like it's just gray and white. Some kind of color to it.
Yep.
So,
you know what? All these Zillow listings that are doing all the AI staging, what they need to be doing is adding the Hallmark Christmas decorations.
You guys need to watch Christmas on Duty and just do that for all of your Christmases.
The houses are beautiful. Both dads have beautiful houses.
At one point, she was Captain Birch said, I can, my dad can move anywhere with me if I get sent somewhere else, but you want to be here with your family. I was like, honey, if I was your dad, I would not be leaving that out.
No.
You have a good life. Go to Okinawa, have yourself a good year there. I am staying in my gigantic house here.
Yeah.
All right, so they clock in for duty to do their duty to they show up and they have to, if you're not familiar with it, you have to have somebody awake at all times and keeping an eye on things in every building in the army in case somebody steals the building, I guess. Notionally, it's because we always want somebody, it's called fire guard in some places.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense to always have, like, if you can say, look, we can force somebody to always be awake to make sure dumb shit doesn't happen overnight, they're going to do that. That's what being a Marine is all about. But these guys pull the crappy job because they frosted the colonel, so they now have to do this Christmas Eve to Christmas Day. Then Josh gets the phone call from his sister that says the train's not going to be here on time.
Well, she says all the deliveries of Christmas presents have been canceled. So like half the neighborhood waited till the very last minute to do their Christmas shopping, and everything was supposed to be delivered on Christmas Eve, apparently. So on Christmas Eve, that's the last day that not Amazon, but right. So everybody was expecting Christmas Eve deliveries. And so Hannon comes up with this idea to save Christmas, which then Birch immediately tries to steal. Just completely take over. Not just gloms onto, tries to just take it away from him. She's like, oh, I'll do this. I'll do that. I'll do the other thing. I'll drive the truck. I don't need you at all. And it's like, it was his idea.
Yeah. You kind of see that they both have a point about each other.
Oh, there's a lot of ego happening here.
So they go to the colonel and they're like, look, we've got this idea to save Christmas. The plan is to drive south where the storm has already passed. The roads are already clear and the toy stores are all still open. Now, mind you, what is happening is that Christmas is going to be delayed by 2 days.
Right.
Maybe 2 days. Until these plows come through. And all of the people...
No plowing is necessary because there's no snow on the roads.
No snow at all. Driveways, nothing.
Like, we're from the Midwest, and that is a 40-degree snow that's happening there, where it's like, it's dusting the grass and the roads are wet and is perfectly safe to drive anywhere you want to go.
But no, we have to believe that everything... Like we said, they're shooting in Utah in April.
So all they could do is wet down the streets.
Yeah. But they do have, there is a whole snowball fight scene. So they do manage to dump. They probably had to bring
the snow machine budget was very small.
Yeah, we can do half of the Hallmark.
Just one house.
Here's something that we got to do now. While we're watching Hallmark movies, we have to take note of the houses and see which ones get reused. Because I bet that those beautiful ranch houses.
One of them was a farmhouse style. And
But those huge houses, they've got to be owned by them.
Probably. Those are probably sets.
Yeah. I don't know, because like we said, we could tell with one of them, the outside shot of the house and the inside shot, that was the house, just because of the way the farmhouse,
I think, yeah.
The inner, so it seemed, I'm sorry, not to get too deep into the woods about that.
This is why I say it's so dangerous that we live so close to Hallmark headquarters, because by next year, we're going to be in Kansas City for Hallmark weekends.
And this is the thing.
Year after that, Hallmark cruise.
I always joke about how I'm a Disney guy, but not in the way that anybody thinks of Disney guys.
Logistics.
I'm into the logistics of Disney. I'm into how they, manage to do all their transportation. And with Hallmark movies, it's just where is this house? Where's that refrigerator? What are you guys doing? What is
that fridge? We're obsessed with that fridge. See, and if we were going to watch it a third time, I would point out the stove in the Sergeant Major's kitchen.
Yeah, I do remember it being and just phenomenally clean too. The house is fantastically clean. All right, so the two of them talk to the colonel. So she's got the driver's license to drive a decommissioned truck, which you should not ever do.
So they say at first, they're like, we need a 7-ton truck and we can get this done. And the colonel, He's like, well, I don't have a 7-ton truck, but I can give you a 5-ton truck.
Which is not, I don't think that the Marines talk about trucks and weight sizes like that.
It doesn't mean anything to me.
There was a thing called a deuce and a half, which was a 2.5-ton truck, but that's like something that my dad drove in.
Right.
And now we have LMTVs, light mobility transport vehicles.
Well, whatever this 5-ton truck is, his sister at least knew how to fix it.
Yeah, somebody knew how to. Yeah, so it's not.
It's old, but not that old.
Right. Well, and so that's the thing. So if it's decommissioned, that means it's not safe to drive anywhere. Like,
well, they didn't say it was decommissioned.
He said, I have a decommissioned 5.
Oh, really? And it's the difference between like having any military experience and not having any, where we're going to nitpick things. Yeah. Whereas the movie is going to be, they're presenting this to people who have no experience, or, you know, their grandpa was the last person they knew in the service. Right. And they say, you know, oh, being a spouse is so hard. They have to explain a lot of things that no military family would have a conversation about.
Right. These movies are not made for people in the military.
Right.
This is not made for you troops. Should not watch it. So they hop in. So I got to say also, the colonel gives them two
caveats. They use the word caveat 3 times in this movie. So he's got 2 caveats for this plan. Don't be late, and also don't be late.
It was, you need to be back to put the toys under the trees before the kids wake up. So like before 7 a.m. And also you have to have this truck back within 24 hours. So don't be late, because it's my ass on the line. But that is literally don't be late, and also don't be late. And they say, yes, sir. And they motor on out. So they are heading on down south, right? And we get to meet some of our new characters, our favorite friends.
And these are the 2 characters that will have us watching this movie again next year. Because no matter how formulaic the rest of the movie is and how goofy it is, Donna and Doug.
God bless Donna and Doug. So the plan is they're going to hit out 5 different toy stores. They've got a list of 150 toys they have to pick.
150 toys that people waited until Christmas Eve to order.
And those parents were being so fucking snippy with them.
Right.
So like at one point she's on the phone. She's like, all right, we'll do our best. We'll see what we can do. And one of the parents is like, you'll see what you can do. Right. Mark is like, no, we'll get them.
Yeah. 150 toys. No word on where the money's coming from for 150 toys. And then also, so Birch has already called around to all of the stores to make sure that they have all 150 gifts. And she has a schedule, and she has drawn out the 3 stores that have all the 150 toys between them, and has, called them, told them exactly what she needs. And so we get to the first toy store, which is Donna's toy store. And they walk in and they're like, oh, you don't have these just like ready for us to pick up?
Yeah. And she's like, I've had 2 back surgeries in 18 months. So I'll let you 2 strapping young.
You look like you can handle it. This Donna has got all the sass of the Doctor Who Donna. Yeah.
Fantastic. I looked her up. She's only been acting since like 2015.
Good for her.
Yeah, seems like she is an older lady.
She wasn't that old though. Maybe 50-ish.
50s.
Very sassy. She's only got maybe 4 lines, but every single one of them is delivered with a punch.
Right. They all have a very subtle fuck you, kind of underlaying. Because here's the thing. It's Christmas Eve. Donna's ready to go home.
Yeah.
Here's you 2 stinking Marines coming.
You need to come in here on Christmas Eve and get 80 toys, and you want me to have them ready to go?
Oh, ready for you now.
Now, if Donna had them ready to go, then we wouldn't have gotten the montage. Yeah.
We got to have this is our first montage of the movie. They grab the cart that is all decorated up for Christmas. And, small toy store, maybe they do decorate all of them. But they have the fun Christmas music as they go through and put things into.
This is where Cannon is starting to crack Birch's shell. Yeah. Because she's been real crabby about this and very domineering, managerial. Yeah.
See? No, we didn't say that word.
Right, managerial, leadership-y.
She's been a real Marine.
And he's a fun guy who loves Christmas, so he's trying to get her to relax a little bit. So we have to have the montage where they play in the toy store and be silly.
Have a little sword fight, and they throw a ball back and forth. They have to get a big teddy bear down, so they shoot it with a foam ball, and it knocks it down somehow into the card. It's all, it's fine. It's a well done montage. I've seen a lot of montages there. And I think this one, it fit well. It was in good pace. Didn't last too long.
I don't know. They cut it together though, like a TikTok.
It's very, very
choppy.
Very hard. They could do better. Look, this is our first Hallmark movie. I'm sure we're going to find some more.
So now we're down to the toy number 80 of this stop, which is Carol, the Christmas Carol doll, which is basically just an Our Generation doll from Target that is dressed in Christmassy clothes, and supposedly it sings Christmas Carol. It's like a karaoke kind of doll.
And Donna says, "Oh, it's in the back."
She leads them to this back room with just a complete...
The thing that kills me, too, is that Donna shows this filing system that is insane because it's a stack of boxes, right? But when we walk in, you see all of the bags and the tape and at the wrapping station, and it is pristine.
Yeah.
Donna cares about one thing, and that's toys and wrapping toys. Everything else she doesn't give a shit about.
But she takes them back there and she's just like, I did this filing myself. Don't mess anything up. But she delivers it with just so much attitude in just the most bizarre way. And so then you get the camera pans to this mountain of cardboard with this doll 30 feet in the air.
It's so hot. Donna's warehouse is insanely big.
Like a Costco.
And there's not a single ladder here. Nothing. No. There's no forklifts. There's nothing.
And they've got like warehouse racks, but no forklift, no step ladder, no nothing.
We can't knock down the stack of boxes. Otherwise, Donna is going to come and deliver yet another pithy line. So they have to come up with this, like, okay, if we climb up the side of this, I guess, wire rack. Yeah, this wire rack that they have. Swing across on this thing. Jump on this bar that is suspended from the...
It's a beam with no purpose.
Unknown reasons, but it is like 30 feet in the air, but also 30 feet from the ceiling. It is like perfectly centered in this place.
You would think it would be for lighting, but there's nothing in sight that would indicate why this beam is there. And they've got to shimmy across it. And I mean, you've got to spend like a whole entire 2 minutes of the two of them being like, okay, so I got it. First, okay, wait, no, I've got it. We're going to go up this and we're going to go across this. And then we're going to use the jump rope to hang from this beam. And this is two fully adult human beings who come up with this plan and say, yes, this is exactly what we need to do. And it makes no sense.
No. Here's what I would do. And I expect better out of them as they are. Like, if these were two dummy privates, sure. I could see them, slamming a couple of white monsters and coming up with something like this. Me and my buddies are just going to huck things at it until we knock it off the top.
That's what they did with the bear. Where's the Nerf gun? Just knock this doll off the stack.
Nothing's intact, so we have to be very careful. Nothing is protected. It's all loose toys.
Yeah.
So she goes, so they argue about who's going to do it. And Captain Birch is like, look, I'm the smallest one. That random beam is not going to hold your weight. We can only assume it's going to hold mine. We don't know its purpose. Maybe this is its purpose here all along. And then so she climbs, she swings, she gets on the thing, she shimmies, she wraps the jump rope around the beam and herself so that she can lean down and grab Carol, the caroling caroler. And the thing snaps.
The jump rope frays and snaps just like that in 30 seconds.
Just immediately, just that cheap that cheap Chinese. This is why you got to spend extra.
I don't know. I think that we literally own that jump rope and have owned it for at least 5 or 6 years.
That thing will hold my weight for years. Yeah. Right? Those things are it's like indestructible nylon, man. I don't know what the razor blades they had up there
on that beam.
Yeah.
That sharp edge beam that she shimmied across. Yep. But then it cut a jump rope.
Yep. Snap that jump rope. She falls right onto all the boxes.
No, she falls onto Cannon.
Well, she falls. She knocks the boxes down and falls onto Cannon, who catches her, and they fall to the ground. And we get that.
Are you okay?
Of course I am. You caught me. And then Donna comes in like a fucking firecracker and is just like, you guys are not leaving until this is cleaned up. Leaves again. So we get a little break. We got to check in with the dads. There's times like both of these kids keep calling into their dads to just be like, give them updates on what's going on. Everybody wants to make sure that they're doing okay. And of course, the dads are, still kind of bad mouthing each other. But, Cannon and Birch, they're starting to see like, hey, not such a bad person.
Kind of having some fun on this trip. Maybe we could be partners, but not ready to say that yet, though.
Not ready to say that, I mean, you are very pretty, and your jaw is like cut glass, but we're not there yet. We haven't pursed our lips. We're still pursing our lips in annoyance
and smoldering.
Yeah, we need another cannon wink. You should have thrown another one in at some point. So then we get to our second one, and we get to fucking Doug.
Doug, the best of all.
Doug makes this entire movie.
And we have to give a shout out here because Doug is apparently a comedian named Adam Johnson. And he's in the Mormon Wiki. I'm a big fan of the Mormon Wiki. The Aquabats are in there too. They have a whole wiki of Mormon celebrities. So Adam is in here and he is not even credited with a name. He is just warehouse worker, but he steals the entire movie.
His name's Doug because he's wearing a coverall that says Doug on it, and even gets referred to as Dougie.
Yeah. Cannon calls him Doug, but this guy is just credited as warehouse guy. Hilarious.
Absolute best. So he has locked himself out of the warehouse, and he said this because he had too much eggnog.
Eggnog fog.
He got eggnog fog. Now, hold on. I want to, where's my, the doctor says too much sugar. The doctor says it affects a lot of people.
The eggnog fog.
The eggnog.
The sugar in the eggnog makes everybody foggy, and the doctors have said that this. I gotta know if like all of Doug's lines are ad-libbed.
I do wonder if they're like, we're hiring a comedian, we don't have the right for him, let's just let him do whatever. Because it is every line he has is just so
funny
and just delivered. He's a perfect like goofy fat guy.
Okay, so this is the best of the movie is when Doug says that he is also a veteran of the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
I'll let you
just saying, oh, what you could do, because Doug's like, look, it's locked in, the owner won't be back for like 2 days, and he's like, I wish I could do something for you. I also was in the military, Coast Guard, corporal, whatever. And Cannon's just like, oh, right on, Doug, and shakes his hand, and Doug says like, haha, awooga. That's the boat sound. And I'm gonna be recording with Carrie in a couple. And, in the Army, we have hooah, and the Marines and the Navy, they got oorah. And I really do hope.
Is the Coast Guard's really ooga?
That the coasties just make foghorn sounds at each other.
Like,
that was a good dinner today, Petty Officer. Ooga.
And this is the reason why I'm so glad that we watched this movie twice, because we missed that the first time. And I were like, you could not breathe. Oh, that's the boat sound.
The other great one. So the idea that they get is they're going to go up to the top of the roof of the warehouse and jump through the ventilation.
The chimney.
Keep going with the chimney. They once again put their faith into a nylon rope. And Doug really missed it here because Cannon is basically rappelling down to get into the toy warehouse
Through the ventilation shaft.
Yeah, through the ventilation. They're anchored by Doug. Doug is the anchor for this as they're slowly lowering him down. Doug trips it up and just the whole thing goes slack.
This is another line where I'm wondering, did he ad-lib this?
That's because Doug is like, the line went slack, and Birch yells his name, and then Doug says, Captain Cannon, can you hear her talking to you? Or, Cannon, can you hear her? She's talking to you. And then he hits it with he's either on the ground or he's disintegrated. So Doug and Birch go down to the front, and we get hearing the sounds on the inside. And Cannon opens the door. Like, you could have put like a whole fire behind him, the amount of smolder that he had coming.
And he has the pink skateboard, which is all they needed at this warehouse. Well, they still have one more stop to make, but this was the one place that had the pink skateboard.
Exactly. The pink skateboard is for the outgoing colonel's granddaughter. So that's why a pink skateboard is very necessary. So as they're sitting there and they're all laughing and, we're getting this is great. And then Doug reaches into his pocket and pulls out a fistful of keys. And they both look at him and he looks at them and then he just runs. He just takes off. Over. But not the last we see of Doug. Some fucking how. Not the last we see of Doug. Because they hit up the last place for the last group of toys. Now, the only toy that they're not able to get is the train for Josh's nephew, but they got everything else.
And the last stop is actually a real toy store in Utah.
Yeah. Okay. We're
one of them's a real toy store. I don't know if it's Donna's or the last one. The one that just says, the sign says toys.
Yeah, I hope it's not Donna's. This is a lot of OSHA violations. We get another USAA person because it's like, oh, we'll get all these things packed up into the truck. It's like, oh no, we have helpful USAA volunteers here. And it's like another guy in a puffer jacket.
It was two. Yes, there were two USAA people there helping to load packages into cars.
Good for USAA.
Yep, so helpful.
But they don't have the train. But and Josh tells Birch about how important this is because the kid really likes the train, is obsessed with the train. Dad's deployed, feels bad the kid's not going to have this train. So Captain Birch puts in a call to her dad. Is just like, oh hey, by the way, you know how you're a train collector and we've never mentioned that. Do you have this train for this little boy? And the dad, the sergeant major, is just like, that is a collectible, not for children to have.
But thankfully, the sassy friend is there with the dad and is trying to teach him to lighten up a bit.
Yep.
And she's there to say, give the kid the train.
Right. So, all the toys are taken care of, and they're heading on back. But unfortunately, they get stopped because there's a Christmas parade happening. So Christmas parade is a good chance for us to walk and eat sweets and discuss ex-boyfriends and girlfriends.
A little slow dancing on the sidewalk.
Yeah. We get an insane Christmas parade that comes through. With Paul Madsen as the guest of honor. He gets his own convertible. Doug is the parade marshal.
Yeah.
Doug ran from them all the way to the parade.
In the other town, I guess.
Doug gets around, man. Doug's got places to be. You can see that they're starting to be very romantic towards one another.
And they start slow dancing on the sidewalk in the middle of the parade.
Yes. Well,
and this is where we had a bit of a back and forth because you're like, well, I mean, because they're slow dancing to music that we, the audience, are hearing. But there, where they are, is just parade.
Yeah, just parade sounds happening.
And everyone around them on the sidewalk is cheering and waving and doing parade things. While these two, in their very fresh coats, are slow dancing on the sidewalk.
Yeah, just kind of swaying back and forth, staring into each other's eyes. It's romantic.
I guess.
Yeah. All right, so they're heading back. And God, we're going to talk about this movie for longer than the fucking movie is somehow.
Well.
That's fine. Because we still have to get through Fred. We still have to meet Ezra.
Indeed.
You got to keep plowing through this. So they're running low on diesel. And apparently there is one gas station in this town and it's out of diesel.
Yeah. And well, he's about to close down. So this is where we meet Fred. And Fred comes out and is just like, I'm out of diesel anyways. I'm closing and also I'm all out of diesel. But I got a diesel stash somewhere else.
I got some diesel stash since you guys are all about helping out the kids. And here's the thing. Fred is jarringly bad at acting. He kind of throws a monkey wrench into it. But Fred is the winner of Finding Mr. Claus.
Mr. Christmas. This is a Hallmark reality competition show. And this is why I say next year we are going to end up at the Hallmark weekends in Kansas City just so that we can learn more about this universe.
Yeah, so Alex, who is playing Fred, was in a movie last year called Happy...
No, isn't his name Ezra?
Ezra. Sorry, yes. Ezra.
Ezra Moreland.
He was in Happy Holidays. We looked him up and there are a lot of pictures of him without shirts.
But only 3 credits, and one of them is himself on Finding Mr. Christmas.
Yeah. So get him some work because he can't afford shirts. Constantly not wearing shirts. He seems very skinny too.
Yeah, so he has a very toothy male model look to himself, but not especially great at acting.
No. And he needs them to come and play Santa Claus at
the American Legion.
We're back at the American Legion.
On the other side of the curtain.
Yeah. This guy, talk about extortion too. This guy is just like, yeah, you can have my secret stash of diesel if you come and dress up like an elf and Santa Claus at the American Legion, because you guys are all about helping out the kids.
And then we have another child actor chewing on the scenery. That's Fred's daughter.
He has a couple credits too.
Yeah, probably so. They were clearly a child actor and
yeah, they were really hamming it up.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, she ends up tackling Cannon while he's dressed as Santa Claus into a table covered with crock pots. He could have been covered in so many warm dips.
Yeah, and the dad doesn't say anything, and so she's pretty much caused Santa bodily harm because I don't even remember what she was so wound up about.
Because she said she wants to go fly around with Santa Claus, and they're like, oh, you can fly around, you can go jet pilot and fly around in jets. And then she just came out of nowhere. It's just like, I want to go now. I want to go do this. I want to go do that.
Yeah, but not even just a flying hug, but literally knocked him into a table.
Friggin' side tap.
Yeah.
She took him out at the knees.
Yeah. That was a very strange scene.
He's going to get 20%. Because he is technically on duty.
That is true. He's on duty.
So now we've got one more hardship to get over. The truck kind of breaks down. It loses pressure, I guess, in the air brakes, and they have to fix it up. So Cannon is down there trying to figure it out. And then Cannon's sister calls.
So we do have to get into the fact that this is Daddy Issues Part 2. Yeah. So both of these Marines, they have these dads who are feuding with each other and have been for years. And both of the children Marines, they do everything to impress their fathers. Go figure. Yeah. So clearly Birch's whole thing with needing to have type 2 Christmas activities, she always did that because that's what her dad said they were going to do, and she wanted to do whatever her dad said she should do. And now we get to Cannon, who never asks for help for anything because his dad is always on his case about being tough. So he's insisting that, it's 3 a.m. on Christmas Eve. The truck is broken down on the side of the road. They took a shortcut or something.
There was an accident on the highway.
Oh, yeah. So they went around. So they're way far away from help of any kind. And he's insisting that he can fix this truck. And Birch is calling him out on his daddy issues and being like, if you can't fix it, that doesn't make you a bad Marine or a bad son or bad whatever. And so she's just sitting in the truck stewing while he is dicking around trying to fix this truck. But he is not a mechanic. But his sister was a mechanic. And he could call his sister at any point. But he's saying, no, I don't want to wake her up. Now, the sister does call because she's wondering why they haven't called to say they're back home yet. And she clearly has not been sleeping. She's pregnant, first of all. Yeah. But also, she's in the middle of the living room where all of the Christmas lights are still on. No one even bothered to turn the lights off. It's 3:30 in the morning. And so then they have to have a whole conversation on the side of the road about how dad's so tough on him. Mm-hmm. But the daughter became a Marine too, and he wasn't tough on her. But
yeah, and also the daughter was just and he says something like, I think dad puts too much pressure on me. And she was immediately like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah. I'm glad you're having that realization. Now let's fix the truck.
I've been telling you that for a while. Okay. But because he's the boy, she's the girl.
Yeah.
We put everything on. I'm sure she's got her own daddy.
Sure, because something made her become a Marine.
Right. But we've only got an hour 23 here. So she gets him to fix the truck using some Christmas themed 100-mile-an-hour tape or duct tape for you civilians.
So they have nothing to fix the hole in this airline except for the presents in the back of the truck. So who asked for the tape for Christmas?
And who's not getting tape now?
And the other part of it was a bicycle, like a patch kit.
Oh, yeah. Well,
So it's a rubber tube that's a patch kit for a bicycle tire and a Christmas duct tape.
if it works, I guess.
Lame presents in this town.
Well, think about how sad you're going to be. Like 149 presents get delivered, except for...
Yeah, and that's the other part of it is that it seems like all these presents were meant for the children. So, like, whose kid was getting tape?
Maybe somebody accidentally left it in there. You know, there's been a lot of, incoming, outgoing.
Maybe they picked up gift wrapping supplies. I don't know.
It's there and it helped.
Yeah.
They got the Christmas patch.
Hand of God. They
Put a thing of tape right there. So they get back to base, but they're late. Oh, they're late. All the kids are going to be so disappointed because they're waking up and the toys are not underneath the Christmas trees and nobody's happy, right? This is the worst thing that could have ever happened to any Marine family.
and they broke both of the caveats.
So they go back, the colonel yells at them and they're like, all right. So they go back to their own parents' houses. She kind of jumps on the grenade.
Yes, she does. She takes the blame because for her, it's a matter of a promotion. And she's saying she can go somewhere else if she doesn't get the promotion. But for him, he's kind of on probation since he messed up literally as soon as he arrived.
Right. He's done he's fucked up twice.
Right. Yeah.
And he's been there for like less than a week. So so she takes the blame for it, and they go back to their respective fathers, and they kind of dress their own dads down too.
Well, because of the train, because the one dad is supposed to be giving the train to he doesn't know it yet, but the train that he's giving away is for his rival's grandchild. So, yeah, they do give their dad some crap for, not relaxing, or also, Birch's dad is grieving, obviously. They should have just gone to Disney World.
With all the great options that they could have. No, this is a USAA one. We've already got a...
Yeah, it's true. I just mean, as a travel agent, I do deal with a lot of people who are avoiding that first Christmas after someone has passed. And so to me, it's like, what? You should have just gone to Disney World. Just avoid the whole thing entirely.
But they get the dads together to drop off the train, and they're arguing, and then they start a snowball fight, and we get a very delightful snowball fight.
Really, it was a great scene, and everybody, yes, a snowball fight montage, and again, everyone was having a great time filming that scene.
Yeah.
And so, sometimes I get kind of taken out of a movie by thinking about the behind the scenes of it, but clearly they had a blast filming that, and I can't be mean about it.
Right. So they go to deliver. I guess Cannon gets the idea of let's go ahead and dress up. We've got the Santa and the elf.
Well, so this is I think this is the third caveat. The colonel, he goes to apologize to the colonel and bring the pink skateboard, and apologizes, says it was not, Birch took the fall, but it wasn't actually her fault. It was kind of both of them or whatever. And the colonel says, well, I won't report your tardiness, but there's another caveat, which is that you have to deliver all of these toys in costume. And
that's when he goes and gets her, and then the snowball.
Yes. I
also want to point out too something that was crazy to me that I didn't realize until we watched it the second time. So when they come back and they're getting yelled at by the colonel is in uniform. So this is Christmas morning. Colonel is in full Marine uniform at the office specifically to yell at them. And then an hour later,
he's at home.
He's getting the door knocked. He's got a cup of coffee. And this colonel's just like, what are you doing? That colonel,
Yeah, that is an odd bit of continuity that I hadn't thought about.
But here's the thing. That is the correct thing to do. Because you should be in uniform to yell at your officer.
Yeah, for sure.
I would just say that if I had just gotten done yelling at two of my officers, and then an hour later one of them was knocking on the door, I would shoot him in the face with a gun. But that's not what happens in a Hallmark movie. In a Hallmark movie, we get a third caveat to go and knock all these toys off, and they drop them all off. We get a kind of a third montage, of the
delivering. It's a lot of overhead shots of Boxes moving from one set of hands to another.
Yeah. And it's cute, it's sweet. We get the dads finally burying the hatchets. What it was the sergeant major was on the board for the other guy. Like Sergeant Major Birch was on the board, while I would assume Master Sergeant Cannon was up for a promotion.
And they do say that Cannon pulled some kind of prank, because that's why he was riding his kids so hard. Josh's butt so hard about there's a time and a place for pranks. And he's like, it wasn't a prank, it was an accident. Yeah. And so there was a prank that he pulled, and he says Sergeant Major Birch narked on him and then didn't vote for his promotion. And Sergeant Major Birch is like, I did vote for your promotion. It was somebody else who didn't. And then Cannon's like, well, who? And he's like, it doesn't matter. We're moving past that today.
So, everybody's brains are happy at the end, which is what's really important.
And Cannon, the dad, the elder Cannon, invites the sergeant major over to spend Christmas at their house.
Yeah. He's got nobody, so they're all together.
And then we get a Janel Parrish song at the end.
Yes, she is a singer/actress, so we have to get the song. We get 30 seconds of her doing Silent Night.
She's apparently very popular in the Hallmark universe.
Yeah, and not a bad singer also. So like I said, it doesn't last too long. We finally get our kiss between the two. The will they, won't they? Yes, they finally do.
When they're about to do the obstacle course again.
Well, no, they kiss before that.
Oh, that's true.
There is a kiss in the living room after they deliver the present. But yes, they at the end of it they go to the obstacle course and because they're being silly and they're going to run it again, but they start making out at the obstacle course, which is very sweet. Mm-hmm. And end of movie. Yeah. And I think this one might go into our holiday rotation.
Even if it's just to look at those houses in more detail.
Yeah, to get more out, get more Doug. Like there's so much. This movie is, like I said, it's under 90 minutes, which is a perfect movie length. You can see exactly where the commercial breaks are because this is meant to be played on the Hallmark channel. Yeah. This is a made for TV movie. And I guess there's a lot of complaints about it being cheesy, but that USAA commercial was real early and then they were just done with it.
Yeah, I didn't think it was really overdone. It was funny.
It was.
They were able to laugh at themselves, I think. I mean, the USAA thing was thrown in there in a very obvious way, but I think that it was meant to be fun. Yeah. Especially for the dad to be so corny about an ice scraper. That was definitely self-referential. It was self-aware.
Yeah. Came it up a little bit. And yeah, I don't know what people are complaining about. If you go into a Hallmark movie.
Well, so I don't know which subreddit is this on that you said people
the Hallmark movie subreddit.
Oh, okay. So these are Hallmark movie fans.
Exactly. Who know what they're getting in.
But I assume that they have something to nitpick about every movie. It's Reddit.
It's true. Let's see. People wanting to read. Never seen an actress before. The couple were not a good match. Somebody saying the worst of the year. Worst Christmas movie so far. After letting Janel Parrish flex in Haunted Wedding and Sugar Plum, it was disappointing to see her in a more vanilla cookie cutter role. This one says, I found the two fathers to be awful and pretty Scrooge-ish, which makes the movies have a down mood.
Literally the theme of the movie.
It's called a B plot. You're mad at a B plot. The plot is not so interesting. What do you want the plot to be?
I don't know. This, to me, this is what I have always said, which is that when it comes to movies, I can always suspend disbelief. You just tell me where we're going and I will go there and I'm not going to pick it apart. Except in these little fun ways, where we're just why doesn't Donna have a forklift? But I'm not being serious about critiquing a Hallmark movie. I'm just going to look for the funny parts.
Yeah. One of them says the least credible depiction of Marines I've ever seen, which I don't agree with that. I've seen.
Mm-mm. You even pointed out how realistic it was that their coats didn't really match their pants.
Because the pants would have been worn and more faded than the winter coats that they were wearing. Somebody saying the Sergeant Major looked more like a little Jewish grandfather, which Sergeant Majors come in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah, right?
Fucking scary. It doesn't matter what he looks like. He's going to chew you up and shit you out the other end. Somebody saying, never been so turned off of a Janel Parrish movie. Now, I will say that I don't think this was a great role for her specifically. Like, Parker Young is good because, like you said,
he's played military before. She definitely seemed like she wasn't sure how to play it a lot of times.
Yeah.
Which, is neither here nor there. There was definitely, so on our first viewing of it, we were really poking fun at her acting a lot more, but like she did what she could with the role that she was given.
It's just like Natalie Portman, great actress. We've all seen The Phantom Menace, though.
Right.
You can only make a chair out of the materials that you're given. So,
Yeah, there was quite a few little stumbles in this movie where it seemed like she did not know what to say, which, when there's a script, that's kind of weird. But I thought it was fine. Now, obviously, learning all of these things and hearing that Janel Parrish was in a movie called Haunted Wedding or something like that. That was a Hallmark movie, right?
Well, yeah. And I told you she was also in a movie with Niall Matter.
Yeah. Zane from Eureka.
Yeah. Where they're both ghost hunters.
Right.
And
so
falls in love with one of them.
This is obviously this has sent Francis down a major rabbit hole. I mean, like major. So this is not something that I'd ever thought we would make a habit of, but now we have no choice.
This is congratulations. It's going to be Nate complaining about Switzerland and us talking about Hallmark movies. And we'll bring Jack in for some levity.
To talk about kids' music.
Yes. But overall, you know what? Watch it. It's not too terrible.
Look, like I said, this is a completely new universe for us. We don't know anything. The most we've known about Hallmark anything is the fact that our kid goes to an Irish dance competition in Kansas City in Hallmark Crown Center. So we are familiar with Hallmark in that way, but that's it. And it's caught us off guard. It's more pleasant than I would have expected. And I am looking forward to checking out more of these.
Yeah, we've got 3 more movies. We've got Christmas Homecoming, which is our Army one. We've got USS Christmas, which is our Navy. And of course, Operation Christmas Drop, which is our Air Force. So thank you all for listening. Those other episodes will be coming out. They will be available on Patreon, patreon.com/Hell of the Way to Die. Thank you, Beth. This has been fun.
It was. We went very long, but it was a great time.
We did. We have officially gone longer than the movie. Everybody, thank you so much, and we will talk to you next week.